Hi everyone, so for our final piece, the pawn, I got the entire chessboard because very likely the first move that you're going to see is a pawn move. So basically, at the beginning, pawns are special. They can go either 1 or 2 squares. So for example, this pawn could, hold on, I'm sorry. It's black's move. White always goes first, so just remember that. Okay, so back to the analysis board. White always goes first. The pawn can go either 1 or 2 squares. So if it goes 2, black's pawn can also go 2. Or he can move another pawn like this. This pawn can move 2 because it's on its starting rank. If it's on its starting rank, it can always use 2, so it can do that. And then black can choose to move a pawn 1. White can choose to move a pawn 1. Black can choose 2. White can choose 1. 1, 2. You can choose the very first move. But once the pawn's already moved, like this pawn at h6, once it's already moved, he can only move 1, not 2. He doesn't have that option anymore. He can only move to this square if he wants to. So he can move here. This pawn hasn't moved, so it can move here. And then black can move this pawn here, white here. Black can only move 1, so yeah, that's how the pawns move. Next, we're going to see how the pawns capture. Even though the pawns move forward, they actually capture diagonally. And they can only capture diagonally. They cannot capture what's in front of them. They can only capture what is in front of them, but in the 2 diagonal squares. So it's kind of like a miniature bishop in a way. It can only capture. It can capture in the diagonals, but only in the first 2 diagonals. So it's kind of like a mixture of a lot of pieces. It can move forward, like the king, rook, or queen. I think of moving forward more like the king, because the king can also only move forward in one direction. Or it can only move forward 1 square, just like the pawn. But it can attack diagonally, like the bishop or the queen. Except these pieces have a much larger range. And, so yeah. They can't attack what's in front of them, but they can attack what's diagonal. So, for example, this pawn right here, it could move forward, but it can also take the pawn that's diagonal by capturing it. Then this pawn could choose to take the pawn that's diagonal to it by capturing it. And then maybe you could take with the rook by using the strategy we already discussed, moving it vertically up. And then perhaps the queen could move here. And then advance the pawn, take. The knight could go 2 and 1. This bishop could come over to g4. And then maybe this bishop could come to g5. And before you know it, we have an entire chess game. So yeah, those are that pretty much just completed the series of how the basic pieces move. And I hope you enjoyed it. That's how the pawn moved, or that the pawn finished the series, and then so yeah, now you know how all the pieces move. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.